This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by cdevolution.org.
Article 12. Protection and taxation reciprocal. Every member of the community has a right to be protected by it in the enjoyment of his life, liberty, and property. He is therefore bound to contribute his share in the expense of such protection, and to yield his personal service when necessary. But no part of a man's property shall be taken from him, or applied to public uses, without his own consent, or that of the representative body of the people. Nor are the inhabitants of this state controllable by any other laws than those to which they, or their representative body, have given their consent. June 2, 1784. Article 12a. Power to take property limited. No part of a person's property shall be taken by eminent domain and transferred, directly or indirectly, to another person if the taking is for the purpose of private development or other private use of the property. That was November 7th, 2006. I got a chance to vote on that one myself. I voted yes, and so did roughly 90% of New Hampshireites who voted on that issue.
World War II proved the military importance of air power.
Article 13. Conscientious objectors not compelled to bear arms. No person who is conscientiously scrupulous about the lawfulness of bearing arms shall be compelled thereto. June 2, 1784. Amended 1964 by striking out references to buying one's way out of military service.
Will you be sending men with guns after me if I don't show up to your trial?
One more word and I'll have you arrested.
Article 14. Legal remedies to be free, complete, and prompt. Every subject of this state is entitled to a certain remedy by having recourse to the laws for all injuries he may receive in his person, property, or character. To obtain right and justice freely without being obliged to purchase it, completely and without any denial, promptly and without delay, conformably to the laws. June 2, 1784. Article 15. Right of accused. No subject shall be held to answer for any crime or offense until the same is fully and plainly, substantially and formally described to him,
You're hurting me. You're hurting me.
or be compelled to accuse or furnish evidence against himself. Every subject shall have a right to produce all proofs that may be favorable to himself, to meet the witnesses against him face to face, and to be fully heard in his defense by himself and counsel. No subject shall be arrested, imprisoned, despoiled, or deprived of his property, immunities, or privileges, put out of the protection of the law, exiled or deprived of his life, liberty, or estate, but by the judgment of his peers, or the law of the land, provided that, in any proceeding, to commit a person acquitted of a criminal charge by reason of insanity, due process shall require that clear and convincing evidence that the person is potentially dangerous to himself or others, and that the person suffers from a mental disorder must be established.
If I answer your question, would that be consenting to your process?
All we're doing is setting a date for you to come back for your hearing. That's all.
Every person held to answer in any crime or offense punishable by deprivation of liberty shall have the right to counsel at the expense of the state if need is shown. This right he is at liberty to waive, but only after the matter has been thoroughly explained by the court. 1784. But it was amended in 1968 and 1984 to add the right of counsel at state expense and the legal requirement of proof beyond a reasonable doubt for insanity.
Have the stories of civil disobedience in New Hampshire inspired you? Are you frustrated at your inability to participate? Well, be frustrated no longer. Now you can pitch in. The Civil Disobedience Evolution Fund, allows you to assist these gutsy activists as they make a stand for your liberties. Find out more at cdevolution.org.